Today is what's often called Blue Monday, typically the third Monday in January, which is sometimes described as the most depressing day of the year, though experts say there's no scientific basis for that claim. What it does highlight, however, is that many people can feel a bit low during the darker winter months. So if you're not feeling yourself, what can actually help? We're going to talk about practical steps, the importance of connection, and the Samaritans' message that there's always time for a cuppa and a conversation. But before that, our own Daragh Leamy has been out talking to the great Clare public about Blue Monday.
I'm out and about on the streets of Ennis once again, and I'm after meeting Lisa and Daragh. I know they're Daragh. I don't know if we spelled the same way or not.
No, 2 hours.
two hours, okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. Listen, so Daragh, can you tell me about what's your understanding of Blue Monday?
I've heard of it before, that it's the most depressing day of the year. It's always in January. And there's also a great song called Blue Monday as well.
That's right, yeah.
Very good song.
And another song as well, I don't know if you heard of it, Bob Geldof, I Don't Like Mondays.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad always sings that, to be fair.
Yeah.
And
very good.
Tragic backstory behind it.
Very bad.
What do you make of Blue Mondays?
I'd say there probably is some truth behind it. You know, it's January, it's cold, the festivities of Christmas is gone, and people are kind of short on money, but I haven't personally felt too blue myself.
Monday's my short day at work, so I'm delighted every Monday.
Although you are wearing a bit of blue there today.
I am, yeah. It's my favourite colour, in fact. So,
Lisa, what do you think of Blue Monday?
I learned about it 2 seconds ago, so that shows how much I knew about it. But as I said, Monday's my short day at work, so I quite enjoy every Monday.
You're happy out, so
Delighted.
you know, we all have bad days. What do you like to do to lift the mood?
I always actually try to meet my friends, to be fair, you know, kind of speak to someone, just be in someone else's company, and they always do cheer me up, to be fair. Or I work by the seaside, so I go kind of slow enough walks by the sea, so it kind of clears the mind a small bit, sea air and everything, yeah, so it's grand.
Very good. Daragh, do you think Blue Monday is helpful for talking about mental health?
I think it could be, yeah, to get people to talk about it, that we might all be going through the same feelings in this particular time of the year, that you're not alone for feeling a bit blue, maybe.
What's one thing that annoys you, that really doesn't get you in the mood?
Going into work on a cold, dark morning and it's wet, and
I was going to say the rain. I was like, I can't stand the rain at all, but it's...
Lisa and Daragh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
James, how are you doing? Thanks a million for joining me. Have you heard of Blue Monday?
Yes, I have.
And what do you make of it?
Well, Mondays, when weather is bad like today, it can be depressing. But then you always have to have the good side out, don't you?
Absolutely. And look, we all have bad days. What keeps you going in those when those days come? What lifts up your mood?
Positive thoughts is the simplest answer to that.
Okay. And do you find that a lot of people are not as positive as what they probably should be?
Well, it all depends on your surroundings and who's with you, you know. There's always somebody who's depressed. I try and avoid those.
Can we talk about the month of January, because we're just out of Christmas, nice time of year. Is January a depressing month for people?
Not really, no, because I wouldn't let it be that way. So I don't really bother. I just don't get depressed. There's plenty to do. It's a quiet time. So once the sales are over, just looking at where we are now, it's sort of. You just got to get on with it, you know. People, by the time the end of January comes, they're waiting for that paycheck, you know, to pay for Christmas and all the things. That might get you down, but there's always things like the credit union and a decent bank manager.
James, thanks a million.
Nice to meet you.
Girl going And be on the lookout for a decent bank manager. Thanks very much to Clare FM's Daragh Leamy, who was chatting with the great members of the Clare public there. So for more on Blue Monday, I'm joined in studio by the director of Clare Samaritans, Pat White. Pat, good morning to you.
Good morning, Alan.
Thanks very much for being with us. And on the line, we have the registered nutritionist and specialist in performance and health nutrition, Gráinne Trevors. Gráinne, thanks for being with us too.
Hi, good morning, Alan. How are you?
I'm very well, actually, despite the fact we're talking about it being Blue Monday. Pat, it is labelled Blue Monday. As I mentioned, experts say there's no scientific basis for that claim. But I mean, when you think of the evidence, you're kind of, as one of the people speaking with Daragh said, you know, the Christmas festivities are long in the rearview mirror. We're only midway into January, and there's still half the month to go. Payday feeling a long way away. Do you think there's something in that? I mean, you've a grin on your face, so I don't think you're experiencing Blue Monday, but can you understand why quite a number of people might?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they refer to their relationships, finance issues, all the different things. Even outside of, like, I suppose the fact that it's weather-wise and environmentally, it's a dull time of the year. But I mean, February 1st isn't far away, and the sun will be shining again. The flowers will start coming out. But yeah, it's that the darkest hour is the hour before dawn, and you know, it's a question of getting through that period. And obviously, I'm from Samaritans, and awareness is a big deal for us. So you know, I've written down here, you know, perception is a big thing, and oftentimes people say, well, how can Samaritans help me? Because basically, I suppose people talked about there in the Vox Pop about seaside walks and the various other things you do to try and keep your mood up. So if that's not working for you, then reality of it is the Samaritans are there. The 116 123 number is there, and don't go with your perception that they might be no good. They might, but at least try them. So that's my message to you, to your listeners this morning. You know, to be aware of that number, and if the things that you normally use to keep your mood up, or you're trying to get through a crisis, do call Samaritans, because that's what it's there for, to basically support you during a difficult time.
Yeah, and it is great to know Samaritans are always there when people need them. But I suppose, Gráinne, you know, I mentioned all the particular factors that could lead to one experiencing Blue Monday, but perhaps are not enough of us doing enough to help ourselves. And I'm thinking of what we're putting into our bodies from a nutrition point of view. Does what we eat and drink at this time of year affect how we feel mentally? Or not enough of us, despite New Year's resolutions and all that, or maybe too many of those have fallen by the wayside already? Could we be doing more in that regard to stave off Blue Monday?
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. There's a huge amount of research in relation to nutrition, as you said, what you put into your body and the link with our mental health and mood. And I think a lot of us are familiar with the saying, I feel it in my gut, or I have a gut feeling. And the reason why is that the gut and the brain are closely connected. And the gut is often called our second brain. If you can visualize it being like a highway or a motorway, where there is millions of nerve cells traveling up and down in the opposite directions, going from your gut to your brain and back down again. And your brain and your gut are linked. So what a lot of people don't know is around 90% of serotonin, and that's our happy hormone, is made in the gut. And serotonin helps control your mood, your sleep, and your appetite. So looking after your gut health is really, really important to looking after your mood and well-being. And our own, there's a huge amount of research done over the last number of years down in UCC by a professor down there called Professor Gráinne, and some of your listeners may have read his book. It was called The Psychobiotic Revolution, and our own Shane O'Donnell, was instrumental in working in the area of gut health. So, there's a small clear connection there. So, what the research shows really is, I suppose, what you put in terms of there's good things you can put into your body, diets that are rich in vegetables, fruit, whole grains, fish and healthy fats, are linked with better mood and lower risk of depression. And then on the flip side of that is the diets that are high in the sugary and high processed foods, the things we were all eating over Christmas, the boxes of roses, the selection boxes, the alcohol, etc., and they can lead to like low energy, worse mood, and more symptoms of depression, and equally poor concentration. So really what we do put into our body can have an impact on our outward mood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are there, I know you do have to go, so just before I let you go, are there any kind of small realistic changes you'd recommend that people could start this week, Gráinne, that can begin to make a significant difference?
Yeah, so just 2 very simple things. The next time you're going around to do your shopping, into your basket, put an array of different colour fruit and vegetables into your basket, and just go, how can I increase my fruit and vegetable intake this week? Because that will help feed your gut bacteria. And then look at your intake of good fats. Okay, so you get good fats from things like chia seed and oily fish. Oily fish are things like salmon, mackerel, and you can eat them tinned or fresh or frozen, whatever suits you. So putting those few little things into your basket and maybe taking out, the highly processed food. You don't have to go cold turkey, but just taking out 1 or 2, highly processed food during the week, and instead replacing it with a piece of fruit and some vegetables. Soups are brilliant. Stir fries are brilliant for getting variety and fibre into our diet.
Okay, brilliant advice, Gráinne. Thank you very much. That's Gráinne Trevors there, registered nutritionist and specialist in performance and health nutrition. And Pat, just before I let you go, we've been talking about Blue Monday, but for you guys at Samaritans, it's also Brew Monday. Tell our listeners more on that.
Yeah, I suppose Brew Monday is a Samaritans initiative to, I suppose, raise awareness, a day to promote social connections and mental well-being through shared conversations over a cup of tea or coffee. So, absolutely. Brew Monday it's a Samaritans initiative for to raise awareness of the service that's available to people. Okay,
and speaking of brew, as I said, having an old cuppa and a conversation can help a lot in that regard. Well, Pat, you've earned your cuppa. We're going to let you go, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
He's
Alan,
smiling even more, as if that was even possible. That is Pat White there, Director of Clare Samaritans, with us on Mondays, this Blue Monday edition of Morning Focus.